Wreck-It Ralph 2 Electric Boogaloo was directed by Disney. Yep, that's all you need to know. Disney, please see it. Give us your money. Marvel, princesses, wonderful things. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, no, there's a lot of times I can make fun of Disney and stuff, but I have to say, I think they're learning. Yeah, and I'm saying that like they're a 5-year-old kid and they've learned their lesson. No, this is a billion-dollar company. You know, they're not idiots, and I think, you know, I can get mad at Disney sometimes because sometimes I'm like, oh, do we really need 3 direct-to-VHS sequels to Aladdin? I think there's 3. And do we really need to remake every popular cartoon movie they've done? Does The Lion King need a quote-unquote live-action film? How's it live-action? It's CGI. But, you know, it's funny. This has turned into more Disney talk, but, you know, I really think they're starting to learn from some of the criticism stuff. And there's a lot of stuff in this movie where it feels like, oh, shoot, they heard what people are saying, and they're like, well, we never knew that. And that's the one thing about the internet that I think is great, is that there's this power of being able to, like, say stuff, and then people are actually hearing this criticism. This isn't just, like, assumed or something. And when the critics are always giving your movies good reviews because they want to go to your press screenings, you know, you're never really going to get that real feedback that you do from an audience. And I think Disney's been learning and listening from, like, Last Jedi and some of their other quote-unquote mistakes. And honestly, this movie's Blu-ray worthy. This is the review that I'm introducing my new scoring scale. But you know, this movie's Blu-ray worthy. And I'm gonna explain a little bit of what that is later, because I want to go into some things and I want to introduce some new ideas, and I want to keep making this channel kind of interesting. You know, I think it'd be kind of dull if every review I give is blah blah blah, directed by blah blah blah, is blah blah blah, and it's like, it's nice and it's cool to do in certain movies. It works, but with a movie like this, you know, I've been trying not to give a lot of spoiler stuff, but I feel like if I do kind of a more fun, engaging kind of video like this, it might really kind of help that case of something that really shouldn't be, you know, delved too much into, because in all honesty, I think you should go in fresh. But really the plot of this is it's very, very similar to the Emoji Movie, but much better. You know, that where, you know, Ralph and Vanellope go into the internet and they show up there and they've got to go on their quest of product placement and all. You know, there's some product placement in here, and some of it's pretty easygoing and stuff, and then some of it's like, I have a feeling eBay paid him a little bit of money for this movie. I have a big feeling, because it's a very important plot point, which I could see somebody hating this movie because there's, you know, plot devices and plot elements involving, you know, companies and stuff. But yeah, I feel like this was at least a fun and inventive kind of movie that kind of goes a little differently than you expect it to, and it doesn't have kind of that typical Disney feel. It feels like they're trying some different things, which is nice. They kind of even make fun of the fact that there's the Disney formula. There's a scene where the princesses are, Vanellope breaks in on the princesses, and they're all just breaking down what a princess is in the Disney world. So it's just kind of funny that I feel Disney's so self-aware now that it's cool and interesting, because it's, you know, we could see where they're going to take things, and that gives me hope for episode 9, you know, Star Wars episode 9 coming out later this year. But yeah, Last Jedi, that hurt me. That hurt me in theaters, but, you know, I guess I forgive you, Disney. You can do good things. And it's funny. I like to make fun of Disney and Marvel and stuff because they're so popular and they're big and everything. And I think there's better stuff out there. And sometimes I can complain about how they kind of have a monopoly on the children market, the child market. And they also kind of have a monopoly on superhero movies. Although DC apparently is getting better. I haven't seen Aquaman, but supposedly it's better than the other ones. But the one thing Marvel has done is that they don't make their superheroes too powerful. And Disney does that where I feel like in this movie, Ralph and Vanellope, they're not too perfect and it doesn't kind of ruin things. They don't just like, oh, here's my struggle, boom, done, good, next, here we go. It does seem like they kind of struggle for what they need to do and what they need to accomplish without ruining it. I really think it's interesting that it's almost like they watched the Emoji Movie, sat there and went, we could do this better, and literally said, let's take Wreck-It Ralph, give him a sequel, and we'll redo Sony's disappointment, and we'll do it better. And it really feels like that in this movie, except it's not about fucking emojis. There is one thing in this movie that did make me cringe like nothing, though, and that's that one of the main places they go and the one thing they use is BuzzTube, and it's like, oh, it's this cringy, BuzzFeed YouTube hybrid, and the thing is, like, BuzzFeed is, I'm going to move on because I don't have a lot of nice things to say about them, but that is one big kind of negative thing with this movie is it's like, oh, BuzzFeed's good kind of thing. It's like, nah, BuzzFeed's awful. They're so cringeworthy, but, there's some messages in there about how, like, the internet's not all bad and that you could see the negative or you could see the positive. It's about how you look at it. It's not inherently bad. And I think that's something that, you can kind of take away from this that I think can impact a lot of people in a positive way. And anytime somebody does that, especially for like something like this that would be considered a kid's movie, impacting kids positively and having them look at things, I guess, in a critical way, but also in a positive way, that can give light and give hope for a lot of good stuff. So, all in all, there's this theme of following what you need to do in this movie, and I think all of that combined, it really makes for a good watch. So I would say this movie's worthy of a Blu-ray buy, which is kind of my rating for see, some of this is a little complex sometimes, where it's like I kind of feel like how my grading system has been with just numbers and stuff. It doesn't give the whole story as much as something like my grading system is, which it starts from, you've got the absolute bottom, which is your 0 out of 5s or your 0 out of 10 kind of thing, your what the fuck kind of titles. You're like, oh my god, this is horseshit, dog shit, bullshit, whatever kind of shit it is. That's your, like, abomination of film level shit. Like, the stuff that, like, how did this get made? Emoji Movie level shit. But then, we have Skip It, which is something that just, I would avoid this one. Don't go see this one. Just completely avoid it. Move on. Next. Then we've got Meh, which is kind of your, it's okay. I guess it's technically a movie. It achieves stuff. I kind of see these as like my bottom, my what the fuck is kind of a 0, like absolute trash. My Skip It's kind of like a, 0.5 to 1.5. It's, all the stuff that still was bad. Meh is kind of that 2 to just about 3 out of 5. So everything that's like, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. Then my next one is a Netflix watch, or Netflix worthy, and that's kind of your 3 to, just about 4 out of 5. And then Blu-ray buy is kind of like a 4 out of 5 and better. I would say this is closer to a 4 than it is the, just about my higher rating, which my higher rating, the high rating is buy the special edition Blu-ray / 4K kind of thing. And then my very top rating, which is kind of reserved for like those special films, is Masterpiece, because we already use Masterpiece. We say that, but that it is kind of reserved. Masterpiece. Some people want to give it out to a lot of stuff, but Masterpiece is that kind of movie that it feels so special. It's something so itself that it's just so wonderful. So I kind of see that as kind of like a star, where there's not really like a score out of 5. The special edition's kind of like a 4.5 to 5 out of 5. Kind of like, that's like a great movie. And not to really ruin anything, but there's certain films to me that I'd give Masterpiece. And then there's others that, they're buy the special edition Blu-ray. They're great. I definitely suggest them, but there's just one little thing missing from it that makes it whoa to me. So, like, for me personally, a movie like Blade Runner would get my Masterpiece seal of approval kind of thing. Whereas a buy the special edition Blu-ray, I might give that to, going back a couple of years, or going back quite a bit of years. A movie like, I love The French Connection, but for me, even though, it's a Best Picture winning film, I see it more as a buy the special edition Blu-ray, where it's a fantastic movie, it's a great movie, but I'm not going to watch it, 2 to 3 times a year. I'm not going to go out of my way to, like, I need to see this. Like, how I feel about, Blade Runner or Drive for me. Those are my really special movies, so those kind of get the top thing. So I just thought it's important to kind of explain my new grading system that I'm going to be doing going forward, because I really don't want to stick to these number scale things, because I feel like, as time goes on, I might feel slightly differently about stuff. And, maybe a meh might turn into a Netflix watch, or a Netflix watch might drop to a skip it. Depending on, wow, I rewatched it and I think this is terrible now. Sometimes that happens. Or sometimes you see something that you're meh about, and then, all of a sudden you're like, wow, it's growing on me. It's a Blu-ray buy kind of thing. So I really think kind of figuring out through this kind of grading system, I feel like it's something that can kind of give a more definitive thing while also not being so numeric, because it's kind of the thing of like how I feel about it and what I'm actually going to do. So a movie like this, Ralph Breaks the Internet, now my brother's probably going to end up buying this, in all honesty, so I'll probably watch it when he gets it, but I do think it's worthy of a Blu-ray buy, and I do think, it's one that I would want to seek out and watch again. Where a Netflix watch is something where, got nothing better to do, it's on there. I feel like watching that kind of movie tonight kind of thing. So hopefully that explains somewhat of the scoring thing. But yeah, this movie definitely gets a Blu-ray buy. It's definitely, in my opinion, a good movie. And I think it's a one to check out, especially if you got kiddies. So, all right. Well, hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, a like and a subscribe would really be great. We're trying to build this channel, so, everything counts. But, likes go a long way, and a subscribe, we'll keep bringing stuff like this to you. And I know I want to be doing some quicker reviews, and I know we're going to get to doing some video stuff coming up here. But I just thought this would be a good one to do some explanation and stuff with. So, well, I hope you guys like this. And if you have something bad to say, throw it down in the comments, and we'll get back to you. So, all right, take care.